Holla peeps, it's your girl Schree reporting live for SchreeTV, back in the courthouse with Jodi Arias.
So he had descriptions of her.
And they got that same house lady still on the stand. What you say?
The way she was described by her other partners, and they had.
And my love muffin is watching it with me. Holla, love muffin. She said holla. It's more like holla.
And that usually says something positive. When relationships break up, oftentimes people, certainly for a period of time, aren't friendly with each other, or they don't have a friendship after that. But she maintained friendships with both of them, which is a positive thing.
Right. And
that lady getting paid.
Did you learn about the changes that occurred with Jodi then after being with Mr. Alexander?
Yes, she became. Well, they described her as bipolar, meaning that she went back and forth in her moods.
She was an actual diagnosis?
No, not a diagnosis. People say bipolar.
Okay.
Usually when people say bipolar, what they mean is she goes from what's happening relatively quickly, and she
Let's
was
put on some
described
rouge.
prior to that. But this was a more extreme change, and this was described more by Mr. Brewer.
Okay. And what about her depression and suicidal tendencies, those types of things? Is that something that changed for her after being with Mr. Alexander?
Yes, neither Mr. McCartney nor Mr. Brewer described Jodi Arias as suicidal.
And what about any type of deep depression with her?
They describe her as generally happy.
Oh yeah.
And they talk
little
about her
rush.
crying, and that she can fluctuate in mood.
I'm bored with this trial. They need to wrap it up.
That I read.
Okay. And did they talk about
Tired of looking at Jodi.
Is that what happens when she gets upset?
I'm tired of looking at that lady.
Not an unusual response.
The man fixing the cross was in her.
Did either of them ever describe her as a liar?
Prosecution's gonna examine her now. Oh, that's gonna be hot. I hope we get to it.
I have a couple of additional questions for you. I know it was a couple days ago when we established that you sent books to Jodi, right?
Yes, I did.
And is that about 5 books that you sent to her?
I think I sent her 4 books and a magazine subscription.
Okay. And I guess I'll get this out of the way now. Do you have a memory problem?
No, I don't.
And
Do you have a memory problem?
Do you have any feelings for Jodi
Poor Alice.
would impair your abilities to make an honest
And they're not poor Alice at
about
$300 an
her
hour.
as a battered woman or about her relationship with Mr. Alexander?
No, I don't.
$350 an hour. Let's see here.
In everything, the text messages, everything that you've reviewed in this case, and from Mr. Alexander's own words, did you ever hear about any patterns where Jodi was being physically abusive or aggressive with Mr. Alexander?
No, I did not.
Did you ever see any patterns of verbal abuse from Jodi to Mr. Alexander?
No, I did not.
Did you ever see any patterns of psychological abuse or controlling behavior by Jodi to Mr. Alexander?
No, I did not.
And did you ever see any evidence at all of jealousy from Jodi to Mr. Alexander?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I have nothing for the judge. Thank you.
All right, prosecution. Yeah, buddy. Here we go.
One of the things that you told us earlier was that you have a bachelor's degree, correct?
Not a master's degree.
Well, before that, you had to have a bachelor's degree, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now you.
He's like, you have a master's degree, bachelor's, right? She's like, I have a master's degree. And he's like, well, before that, you had a master's, right? He's starting up all over again, being combative, this prosecutor. He doesn't even need to be like that. You know, I think he's hurting his own case by coming off this way. Very abrasive and unnecessarily rude to this witness. We'll be right back with some more SchreeTV. Love ya.